What's the tea?
We need a doctor.
Camp, the movie.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Met Gala 2019 and all the glam around it, and we appropriately named the episode Notes on Glamp.
And don't worry if you didn't get to watch the Met Gala 2019, because here are the highlights.
Yes.
The
the
best
highlights.
outfits that Sid was able to filter out.
And explain this theme to you guys, because I
Exactly.
know that just based on the phrase itself, Notes on Camp, people got confused. They're just like, what is camping out? Like, should we just...
That's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, then you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so men, women, anybody who is anybody in the pop culture world has participated in the annual Met Gala at least once. And it was formerly called the Costume Institute Gala, or the Met Ball. It's a fundraising gala for the benefit of the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute in New York City. And there's always a theme. This year it was based on Susan Sontag's 1964 essay, Notes on Camp. The theme was a play on words with that. Camp, Notes on Fashion. It is in essence extravagant literalism. In other words, dress to break the internet by exaggerating silhouettes, accessories, the overall look of your wardrobe aesthetically in such a way that it doesn't look practical. You're a walking art installation, basically. Or embody, as Vanessa Fried of the New York Times says, a caricature of a parody of an idea. So basically just Gaga's whole fashion lineup through the years.
Okay, so after listening to you, let me
Yeah.
just break this down. So if it's a painting that you feel as if it inspires you, go ahead and make an outfit into that painting.
Exactly
Okay,
that painting.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So just very literal versions of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And they do such a very good job at embodying just this, idea alone. And for example, Kim Kardashian with her dripping wet, and dripping wet hair, and then her bodice, it just looks like those gems that are on her just look like water droplets.
Right.
And they look very beautiful. And then there were many other costumes that I felt were on the tamer side of this, where they just looked beautiful just to look beautiful. So I'm going to mention first off that, there were so many, I just narrowed them down to just a few,
Right.
just because there's so many to talk about. I do want to give
It's a big event, so it's not
Exactly.
like you can choose all of them, right?
Exactly.
You're going to choose the one
exactly.
that stands out,
Right.
or the people that stands out to us,
Right.
and basically go over the details of what they did.
I'll
So-
do a small shout out to Zach Posen, who, among many, he collaborated with GE and Proto Labs to create 3D designs. For example, 3D printed bustier on Nina Dobrev, and Julia Garner's Vine Crown, working with plastic scientists and engineers that built jet engines to create these looks. Just a quick shout out, because that's one of many designers that were featured in this whole show.
And who did he help design? I mean,
He designed Nina Dobrev, Julia
Got it.
Gardner, and
Okay.
a bunch of other people. But basically what I'm saying is that there are so many that went to great lengths to execute these looks that I feel like they each deserve some recognition. There's art that obviously gravitates towards anybody, and that could just be a very obvious, conventional way of viewing beauty, right? But
Right.
there are unconventional things to like about art that can be considered beautiful also. It just takes a person to go there. And I feel like there are a lot of, a lot of celebrities that I'm about to mention that really went there, went above and beyond.
all right,
And-
let's do this.
yeah, let's do this. All right. The first one I have to talk about here, and we're both a fan of Gemma Fan.
Mm-hmm.
She's just drop dead gorgeous. She could just wear, a burlap bag and call it a day.
Yeah.
Someone should have actually came in a burlap bag.
I believe this is the second time that we've brought her up. The first time we were referring to which
The
award?
Academy Awards.
The Academy
I believe.
Awards, which was one of that pink dress, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The really
the chandelier
huge,
earrings.
mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. And she's seen here in Tom Ford. Her amazing custom-made headdress is actually an ode to Elizabeth Taylor's in her 1968 film with Richard Burton. Boom is the name of that film. Maybe the cold never bothered her anyway because she's an ice queen here, guys. And she's wearing over 100 carats of layered classic diamond line bracelets and an oversized emerald cut cocktail ring.
Wow.
I think she's a fan of emerald cuts. And
what about her
the
headdress?
emerald
Are there
queens.
any diamonds on there, or is it all made of plastic?
No, I
glass
believe
or
that
metallic?
that could be 3D printed right there. I'm not really
Okay.
sure. I didn't get much
I
information.
wonder
there.
how heavy that piece
But
is.
that
I mean,
looks like metal. That
Yeah.
looks like hardcore metal. I'm not sure.
It really looks like she's trying really hard to keep her head up straight because it looks like it could be potentially pretty heavy.
I mean that's what how you tested yourself as a model, right? Or to just like walk with a very head up high, shoulders back, very I would say in
Composed in order.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you are studying
professional.
dance,
Yeah.
you've got to have the
Sure.
right pose and posture and everything like that. And I feel like that, Gemma Chan she's gorgeous, but also she's got so much poise about her that I feel like this whole, the column dress with the capelet and the crown, I feel like that just really speaks to that.
If there's one word that I would have to say to describe Gemma Chan is she presents herself with so much class.
Yes.
In her, well, obviously in movies it's acting, but anytime she was to present herself or when she speaks with a lot of class. That's what I really admire about Gemma Chan. So.
I agree. And I will say that this is one of the tamer ones of the looks that we're going to discuss today. But I just needed to, give her some recognition just because, like, it's I would say a subtle, modest piece, but it has the right notes of extravagance and embellishment.
Yeah, there's nothing modest about her head.
Her headdress.
Her headdress, right? So, everything else is pretty modest.
Right,
It looks
yeah.
like a normal dress, but that headdress is, if we were to
Like
use
it's
an
like
analogy,
it's like a fancy solitaire.
Exactly. I was going to say the same
Oh
thing.
my God! Yes.
I was going to say the same thing.
Same wavelength.
So
What?
the headdress is a very big, large center stone, and the rest is a solitaire, right?
Right.
So,
I get it. Next
me.
up is Janelle Monae. And she is a woman that in her career wears many hats. And literally here, literally,
No
she
pun.
is wearing many hats. That's the whole point of the whole show, right?
Yeah.
Go literal, but also go big.
Yeah.
And she's in Christian Siriano wearing Hanut Singh earrings. They're kind of like drop half moon with like
me take a look
radiating
here.
waves type of ring earrings.
yeah,
Yeah. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see
And then it looks like almost lashes of eyes. And it kind of just goes along with her whole outfit, which is very symbolic of, like, I would say, like, Picasso faces. Because they're not, like, everything's not perfectly symmetrical. The silhouette of the dress is, but the face isn't. And then, did you know that blinking eye bra that she has in Swarovski
Oh, is that a
gems,
bra? I thought that was paint.
it actually
Oh.
blinks.
No.
Yes.
How does it blink? Is there a battery in there?
That is unknown to me. But it blinks.
Wow.
It might be battery operated. Who knows? Maybe in this day and age, it requires some, I don't know, solar panels. We're thinking green, guys. Just kidding. I don't know. But what do you think about this entire look? Lips, are actually trailing her long braided hair in the back too.
Right.
It's just a complete look from head to toe. It's so great to me. What do you think?
I think it's definitely a complete look. If there's a comment that I can make on it, is that I think, again, to your point, her earrings really complete the look because her earrings are actually eyes. That's what I see.
Yeah.
It's actually
That's
an
what
eyelid.
I see.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. No pun. So the earrings look as if it's a closed eyelid with eyelashes. So
Okay,
that's
I
what
see
it
that.
looks like to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
as opposed to a half moon sun ray.
Right.
But-
Everything's open,
Right.
and then something's got to be closed.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like that. Next up, and we didn't get to talk about too many men. You know, the last time when we talked about the Academy Awards, but because this is a Met Gala, everyone is allowed to be in costume, and I feel like Jared Leto really went there.
Yeah.
And he's in Gucci here. They sponsored the event. He's wearing a long sleeve silk gown. It's red, really, really bright red, with a diamond encrusted body chain draped along the bodice. He's rocking a Jesus beard and a mane, but not the only one, as the decapitated wax-like head he's carrying is an exact replica of his likeness.
It looks so much like him. That's the crazy part, because if
Yes.
I'm looking at this, it looks like he decapitated himself, right? And he's just holding himself up, looking right back at him, and said, "What happened to
He
me?"
himself is a meme. It's
Right.
great. This is literal.
But obviously, in being in the jewelry business, I really admire the diamond-encrusted body chain, if that's what it's called. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called.
That's
but
a body chain.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I mean, that's something that I would definitely wear if I was, if I was to put on an armor or something like that, and just to kind of decorate myself. It looks really neat. Very something that might be inspired from the medieval times. That's the way I see it. But it's really, really nice. I really like that body chain. Obviously, I don't. How many carats is it? Do you know? Did they give you that information?
They did not. I mean, I did not find enough information on that.
Okay.
Surprisingly, just because I had so much information from all the women,
Mhm.
which I feel like they need to start talking more about like what each piece is for the men to wear. Because I know that was the thing with Pharrell Williams's too, with the Chanel necklace.
Yeah, I mean it's so important to do that only because men, we are into fashion as well.
Right.
But for a man to show up in a costume, because I did watch parts of the gala, and there's a couple of men that will come with in just regular suits and nice and all, but not in a costume. So that being said, again, I would really like to know what the total carat weight of this piece is, only because it's so interesting. Then I would really know how much value he was actually wearing on his body.
Right.
Can you imagine if these were all? I'm assuming they're all natural
I
diamonds.
really don't know. They are very large looking.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, but I won't be surprised because everybody is like wearing like millions of dollars of
Right.
things. But I mean, okay, so this is where the whole thing comes into play. What is fashion? What is art? What is considered beautiful? What is, something that's practical? What is not practical? That's art. Art is all, it's the beholder is.
Art is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the
Yep.
eye of the beholder.
That's how the phrase goes.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and art is everything, in my opinion. Everything that you see in life came out of someone's mind before it's created. From the stop sign at the end of your street, to the vehicle that you drive, to the jewelry that you
Yes.
wear, to the clothing that you put on, to the design of your bathroom. Everything is art, because that's where it starts before it becomes standardized. Now, to answer your question, what is practical? Well, it depends. A society based on what's practical based on the majority. Just because you're not the majority doesn't mean it's not practical. It just basically means it hasn't been adopted, right? So,
and this is all about exaggerating lines, exaggerating features
Right.
in such a way that you question it. And it's like it won't even make it into your wardrobe, but it creates conversation. You're a walking installation, and I totally get it.
Yeah.
And that's actually a clutch that he's holding. That head of his.
Oh, wow.
The original designer Alessandro Michele debuted this type of clutch in Milan Fashion Week in February. It's V throwback, much Renaissance, with this whole look. It's very Hamlet, if you're gonna talk about holding something and talking to it, that resembles another human being.
It's freaky how closely resemble it looks. I mean, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm a very practical guy. Practical is, it's all up for judgment.
Yeah.
If I had an exact replica of my own head somewhere in my
It'd
room,
be
and I'm
freaky,
waking up in the middle of the
man.
night, I will be freaked out, right? And like, oh, whoa, what the heck am I doing over there? Oh,
I can't even have a mannequin in my room. Like, I can't. But regardless, would you say, based on his choices in acting and in fashion, you'd say he has a good head on his shoulders?
or on his hand.
All right, so moving on, we have another male actor and singer, Billy Porter. he showed up in a tux dress at the Academy Awards, so he's all about pushing boundaries already.
Yeah.
That he, at the Met Gala 2019, arrived carried by 6 shirtless men, all dressed in gold.
All
And,
gold.
this is a very like sun god ensemble, some would say,
Right.
by the blondes, or the blonde. I forget if the S is silent here. But it is a bejeweled catsuit outfitted with 10-foot wings, a 24-karat gold headpiece, a custom gold leaf Giuseppe Zanotti shoes, and fine jewels by Andreoli, John Hardy, and Oscar Heyman. And it's just a phenomenal piece. And when he just spreads his literal wings,
Yeah.
it's just so holy.
Well, just by looking at it, I think this is very Egyptian inspired.
Yeah.
He looks like a pharaoh. So
Yes.
if I'm to think about, during that time, that era, and the basically outfits of what I've seen in movies and history,
Yeah.
it's very, very Egyptian inspired, and it looks gorgeous in the gold. Obviously, being in the jewelry industry, I'm very drawn to the color gold.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a phenomenal piece, and I think at the end of the
Would you wear it?
I wouldn't personally wear it myself. It's way outside.
I
of
had
my
to ask.
comfort
I know
zone.
you guys would ask, so I
It's
had
way
to
outside
ask.
of my comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
But
Well, he's comfortable, wearing this, and I'm all for it.
It's
you
an
know,
art
like,
piece. I mean,
if
it's
you're
an art piece.
comfortable, you're comfortable.
For sure. And I'm not saying this as a negative thing towards him. It's just I personally wouldn't wear it, right? To answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely very beautiful in terms of the design, the overall aspect. I admire the design.
Those wings.
Yeah, it's great.
They're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Okay, this is a real question for the Met Gala folks that attend. Like, I don't know, like, you're wearing so much different jewels and the amount of money that goes into it. I don't know, when you go to a regular event, you're bound to lose things. I just don't know how much you're losing on that, whole carpet. Like, there's a bunch of money there.
That's true. That's really a good point. But at the same time, I would assume that there are a lot of security people that's probably
Right.
watching. There's cameras everywhere.
That's true.
So I highly doubt anyone would try to pick anything up and pocket it. It would be
Well, no,
rather
of course not.
embarrassing.
What I
So,
mean is that, like,
Yeah.
like when these go back to the original designers, are they fully intact? Because I mean that makes
especially
up
if
the
they're
entire
jewels.
outfit.
Especially if they're jewels, right?
And these are custom made for that person,
Yeah.
so I figure like maybe they just go back into a vault somewhere.
I
Not
would
sure.
assume that these will probably be donated to a museum or something. I mean, what
Yeah.
else are you going to do with the outfits after?
True.
Right?
Very,
or
very
or
true.
be auctioned off.
And
with
there are
the-
some huge
yeah.
pieces that we're gonna talk about soon that I feel like I don't know where else they would go.
Right.
And okay, so before we move on, I actually wanted to quote him when he spoke to Vogue earlier in the day, I believe, or earlier before that event, what he thought about the whole theme, and it really speaks to kind of just explaining a little bit more of what this is all about, especially to him. He said, "What I love about having it at the Met Gala, the contextualizing camp, is it brings honor to a genre that can be discounted very often or thought of as cheesy. When done properly, it is one of the highest forms of fashion and art. Just pushing boundaries, basically." And that's what he said, and I feel like that summarizes it pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Cardi B in Tom Brown. Custom, oxblood, floor-length gown with 3-foot-long train, puffy coke feathers on shoulder that took 3,000 hours and 35 people to create.
By hand? Wow.
If not by hand, still, it's 3,000 hours
Well, it's
by 35 people.
yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
But I figure
She
the
looks like a-
meticulousness that goes into that has to be by hand.
Right.
Unless that's just a magic machine that I don't know about yet.
It looks like it's inspired by, if I was to refer to just nature in general, it looks like a peacock, right? So I mean,
Yeah, I was thinking like Phoenix.
a
Like,
phoenix
well,
too. Well, phoenix would put more
mythical
wings,
beast.
right? Yeah, but well, in my eyes anyway, right?
Yeah.
Not to discount what you're saying, but
Mhm.
you know.
Well, I feel like she just has so many
Right.
feathers in there, and because of like that long train, I figure it reminded me of that just because the phoenix itself is very
Yeah.
red.
Red. absolutely, with the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the headpiece there is hand embroidered.
What is that red heart?
The red
right
heart.
at top of her headpiece.
I'm not
that
sure,
goes around the
but
throat? Is that a ruby?
I actually figure that it's ruby because do you see her chest piece? Her chest piece are ruby nipples.
Oh my God.
They're 44 carats and they're worth $500,000.
This is made of rubies?
No, this part right there.
Oh.
The nipples. The nipples.
Oh my God. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I figure maybe that, the adorned piece that she has on her forehead is also
Makes
ruby.
sense.
Lab grown? Natural?
I don't know. Maybe we could ask Cardi B.
Yeah.
Cardi. I think, out of all the dresses, let's see here. Which one have we reviewed? Seen. Well, I can't really put into context because it's really an art show, right?
Yeah.
So but I'm drawn to reds.
You like it.
I can't help
He
it.
likes
I'm drawn
it.
to reds.
Forget about it.
I'm
Show's
drawn
over.
to
He
reds.
likes it.
It's like I'm so biased when there's anything red.
Okay.
So she really stands out. I think it's very well designed.
I genuinely really, really like it. It's a show-stopping piece.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's one of those, I would say, obviously conventional, it's a gorgeous piece. There's nothing you can say about it that's bad. There's no,
It looks very majestic. It looks very royal.
Yes.
So if I am to put it into context, she looks like if she was to walk down the aisle in a royal wedding. This is something that I would imagine someone would wear back in the 1700s, 1600s, something like that.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
There's no way somebody will look at this and be like, nah, that's trash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
no way.
It's just gorgeous. And I know that a lot of the different costumes were maybe a laughing stock to some people, but it's also because sometimes art makes you feel funny.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you comfortable, it makes you uncomfortable, it pushes boundaries, it makes you question things. But that's what art is.
Mm-hmm.
It inspires thought.
Right.
Whatever that thought is, I don't know. And if we're going to be talking about someone that really inspires thought all throughout her career, and I saved it for last because her whole costume lineup, I feel like it just summarizes the entire event. And
do you hear the passion in her voice?
Over the years, I feel like maybe it was just a fad. Maybe it was just a phase wherein I was into, Lady Gaga and her dressing up so extravagantly, so embellishedly, so exaggeratedly. But no, I'm unfazed, guys. She is just show-stopping all the time. And I know over the years she has become more tame with her outfits, but this gala was just an ode to her entire career.
Absolutely.
With fashion lineup. It's just great.
Based on our conversation right before the podcast started, we definitely mentioned that if there was an event that signifies who Lady Gaga is, it's actually this event, because she's been dressing like this from the get-go, from the beginning. Not
to say that she's the first ever of the persons to really go camp.
Yeah.
But she, it's just this is a summary.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say for this entire event, she's an onion, and we're peeling back the layers for this occasion to reveal her true self.
Mm-hmm.
And she is one of the 5 hosts to this Met Gala specifically. Mm-hmm. This whole lineup here with her 4 outfits, I believe, is done by Brandon Maxwell. Her first is a billowing fuchsia dress, kind of reminiscent
Gemma Chan's.
Of Gemma Chan's at the Academy Awards, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even more so. And it's with a long train, men in black suits with umbrellas, escorting her.
I like that one. Mm-hmm.
And those are really large, I would say butterfly looking gold eyelashes resting on her face there. Her beautiful, glorious
almost
face.
like the Cinderella dress, but in black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the way that she waltzes in with her hands up like this, as if she was a princess or a goddess or Galinda the Good. She's a fairy tale. Mm-hmm. And you can see it right there.
Lady Gaga, you have an admirer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Love you.
A true fan here.
As if it wasn't clear enough in every episode.
Mm-hmm.
And her gold eyelashes. They're just like, they're just like this.
Are those gold? Those are.
I don't know. I would say they're the
of
color metallic gold. I don't think they're actual gold. Otherwise, it would be really just a lot of metal near your face. But not only that, underneath all of that, she has multiple gowns. And the gowns that I'm about to talk about. The second one is complementing to her entire theme. It's the very pink and black theme that I'm getting here. And it's a black gown underneath with an asymmetrical sweetheart line with an exaggerated poof all around. I would say it's more tame than the pink because the pink was just like, it took over the entire carpet, I would say. And this one's tame enough, but she knew that and immediately took it off and revealed a very column, hot pink neon dress. And she paired it with a gigantic, those, now it's archaic, of a gigantic phone mobile.
Is that what that is? Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then she's got a bedazzled large sunglasses. I feel like she's my mom from the 90s. And then from there it was, and you could see the little bows in her hair that they weaved into her hair. Right. I don't even know, but it's so
she's
subtle.
So extravagant.
I know. And I know. Do you know I know? And she's stripped down to her undergarments, pulling a wagon load that was it was titled House of Gaga there. And in the wagon it looks like champagne and an ode to her recent album titled after her late aunt, Joanne. Those Joanne hats are in there too, encased. And the entire look, she's wearing a $2 million worth of Tiffany diamonds, including an 18K gold necklace adorned with a little bow.
Beautiful.
So that is amazing. And the last look, I feel like it's literal camp. She's camping. She's ready for camping.
She's glamping.
Yeah. Exactly. Notes on glamp. So what do you think? What do you think about this whole thing?
I think all in all, she made a statement as soon as she walked in. She's basically saying, I am home, right? So this is my place and everyone else is just the accessory. So I feel like that's what she's actually doing. Because, she came in with 4 outfits or costumes, whatever you want to call it.
She's ready.
She was ready. She was ready to make a statement, and she was a showstopper, and basically all of the...
She's just being Gaga.
Yeah, she's being Gaga. So everyone else is just trying to be like her. If that's the statement that I feel that she made. So based on this, and that's how I feel about it. I think the outfits are nice. I think, obviously I'm not a huge fan, like you. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But yes,
I don't expect anybody to be on the same level. I'm at a pretty high level.
Yeah.
But
But all in all, I think she did a great job. Again, I think she has put herself in a position where she can truly come in and say, hey, this is how I look every day. Versus everyone
else. And she
else.
really inspires people in general to just go the lengths to, whatever you are, whoever you identify to be, you can be that, and it's okay. I welcome it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it should be a welcoming world. So hey,
life's short.
All right. So favorite look out of the entire thing.
Favorite.
To really just, it speaks to the theme, but also is your favorite.
Cardi B.
Cardi B. Red.
I think it's enough, but that's obviously more than enough.
Yeah.
But I really like the red. I love the design. I love how the outfit.
She is the red carpet.
Tight to her body. The big. What do they call that thing in the back of the dress?
Tail.
Yeah, the tail end of the dress. That just looks like a beautiful cocktail type of dress, but more or less like a peacock look, right?
Yeah.
So it's beautiful with the ruby right above. If that's a ruby, right above her forehead.
The stitching on the dress itself, it curves along with her curves to make it seem like the curves are even more curvier.
Yeah.
And I agree. It's so great.
What about you? Lady Gaga, huh? If I had to make a guess, but
if I were to judge on what I would personally wear, I would wear Cardi B's.
Okay, yeah. So we both agree.
I would say though, that something that really speaks to the theme itself, Lady Gaga.
For sure.
And
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the two like really huge billowing dresses. So we are a little biased there because if we're gonna go show stopping, we gotta choose the showstoppers.
Right.
So it just makes sense.
Absolutely.
But that basically sums up our notes on Glamp. What do you think? What are your favorite looks? I don't know. Talk about it in the
And
comments.
if we missed something, leave in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know,
Notification bell.
Notification bell. Absolutely.
It's not here right now, but imagine.
Ding,
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 ding.
ding, ding. Both have one.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
Bye.